Rapid reaction. Rutgers blows out Michigan 82-52 Thursday night, late night at the rack, following its worst offensive performance of the season from an efficiency standpoint in the loss to Maryland on Sunday. Rutgers delivers its most efficient offensive performance of the season. Uh, just absolute demolition of the Wolverines. Jumped out to a 16-4 lead early on. Just got to the rim at will. Was finishing inside. 22 of 32 on layups and dunks. 8 dunks in the game, and really just exerted their will. There was a little bit of a period there where Michigan went to the 2-3 zone towards the end of the first half, and Rutgers went scoreless for, of course, they had to have a drought over 5 minutes, but it really didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. A 30-point win. Rutgers finishing around 1.3 points per possession, shot 52% from the floor. They were 58% from 2-point range, 8 of 20 from 3. Just unbelievable offensive performance all around. And defensively, we're dominant as well. So I talked about in my preview how much I just wanted to see the energy of this team and see, how into the game they were communication wise, the bench's kind of enthusiasm. And it was all there. It was all very positive in terms of Rutgers getting off the mat. Credit Steve Peichel and the coaching staff, credit the players. Certainly was worrisome after that 3-game losing streak and the way it bottomed out against Maryland. The trajectory of the season was pretty much changed at that point. It's funny, NJ Bracketology just tweeted there's still a chance that Rutgers is going to double bye in the Big Ten tournament. But this game certainly kept hope alive in the Big Ten standings. Michigan's now guaranteed last place. Rutgers right now technically 7-10, half a game ahead of Ohio State, who won tonight, looked really good against Nebraska. And then also the other team they're ahead of is Maryland, right? So Maryland and Ohio State are 7-11. Indiana's 7-10. Penn State's 8-10. Like there's a pile up there. So not going to be easy to finish out of the bottom 4, to be honest with you, because you're at Nebraska on Sunday. They're going to be looking to get back on it after the loss tonight. Then they're at Wisconsin next Thursday, although I just feel like Rutgers matches up well against Wisconsin. If they're going to win one of these 2 road games, I just think the Wisconsin game is a better matchup, and they won there last year. Obviously, they beat them at the rack this year, Nebraska as well. But I just think that game to me is winnable. Not to say Nebraska is not, but I just think that that's going to be kind of a buzzsaw on Sunday night. We'll see. But and then you have Ohio State at home on Senior Day, which is not going to be an easy game at all. But bottom line, see Rutgers come out and not just win, not just bounce back, but to really just dominate. And Michigan is not good by no stretch of the imagination. They're not a good defensive team at all. But Rutgers just, really played smart for a good portion of the game. They were sharing the basketball. It was really good to see. They were beating Michigan off the dribble left and right. And they were swinging a little bit and then attacking the driving lanes. It was much better. I talked about that in my preview, and just wanted to get back to the stats here in terms of 52% from the floor. Michigan just 32%, held Michigan at 26% from 3. They've been pretty good from 3. Rutgers didn't even get to the line much tonight, 8 of 12. Turnovers, they forced a lot of early turnovers. Their defense really got them back or got them into offense. That first 7 minutes, I mean, it was helter-skelter. And Rutgers was under control. And it was 16-4. Then I think it was 24-9. They just blitzed Michigan from the start. They were not prepared. And Rutgers was just very efficient early on. They got a little ISO heavy towards the end of the first half. Jeremiah Williams got in foul trouble. That hurt them. And they did stall out. They didn't score for over 5 minutes. That was frustrating. Michigan ended the first half on a 10-0 run. Michigan, starts the second half. They got a bucket, and then Rutgers responds with a 15-3 run, and just ended any doubt that this game was going to be tight at all. Thank goodness, I did not need a super tight game tonight. It's a late one, and it's been a long week, and they just put the issue to bed pretty early. So it was great to see them with so much authority in this game and really just do whatever they wanted on the offensive end. How many points in the paint. They had, it was something filthy. It was points in the paint, 48 to 18. Holy moly. 24 to 6 bench points. And then, rebounding wise, it was actually ended up even at 39. Michigan did a lot better on the offensive glass. Of course, Rutgers, made a lot of shots tonight. But even though Michigan had a 14-8 edge in offensive rebounds, it was a 10-10 wash on second chance points. But really, where it was just, a track meet, Rutgers 18-3 in fast break points. I mean, they executed really well in transition. They looked to get out on the break. They really pushed the pace, and it was no contest. It was no contest. It was a very balanced effort tonight. Let's look at the individual stats here for a minute. In terms of, Cliff and Jeremiah Williams dominated, 19 points for both. Cliff, I thought, played with a ton of energy on both ends of the floor. Rutgers did a really good job of looking for him after he only had 9 points combined in the last 2 games. 19 points, 9 of 11 from the floor, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks, plus 25 in 29 minutes. Great night for Cliff. Jeremiah as well looked really good. He just dominated Michigan in both meetings this year. 9 and 12 from the floor, got to the rim at will, off the dribble, and it's just so under control in the paint and in traffic. Uses his body really well, and finished really strong tonight. 1 of 3 from 3. He had 2 assists, a rebound, 2 steals, and a block. Did have 3 turnovers. He was plus 25 as well. Then you had Andre Hyatt. Noah Fernandez, let's talk about him. Came off the bench, gave him a spark once again. He's really been a spark lately, especially hitting threes off the bench. Talked about the need for Rutgers to get 3-pointers off their bench somehow, some way. Noah Fernandez, 3 of 6 from 3 tonight, 3 of 9 overall, 11 points. Did have 3 boards, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, and a steal. So that was great to see. He gave him good minutes. Andre Hyatt, 10 points, 3 of 8 from the floor, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, a block and a steal. A good outing for him. JaMychal Davis, really did a good job on Doug McDaniel tonight. Scored 8 points on 3 of 4 from the floor. Modest stats. Otherwise, did have 2 steals, like I said, was pretty good there. But that's, let's see, 5 guys within 8 to 19 points. You also had Austin Williams, a little bit off the bench there, 5 points, couple boards, couple assists. Had some late bench work with Aiden Terry at 2 assists. Did not convert from the free throw line. Zach Hayne had a great drive at the end. I think that was his first career bucket. His dad, obviously, on the Rutgers staff for a long time now. Oscar Palmquist hit a late 3. Gavin Griffiths forced a 3 and then hit a wide open 3 with 1 dribble that he got into rhythm. So that was encouraging for him. Derek Simpson, to be honest, did not play too great tonight, but it really didn't make a difference. And just in terms of Michigan, want to see what they held Doug to. He had, pretty efficient first half, but overall, they really just stymied Michigan. Will Cheddar, I thought, played relatively well. I was worried about him. He had 7 first half points, nothing in the second half. Doug did lead them with 13 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but was just not nearly enough. And Michigan didn't get much production at all from many people. They at 31.6%, 26% from 3. So very encouraging night for Rutgers. Winning is a heck of a lot better than losing. It's this is a very interesting period because what are you playing for? Can everybody stay invested? Can they continue to build off of this now, right? This is some positive mojo going into Nebraska. I mean, at this point, listen, they really have nothing to lose, right? They have nothing to lose going to Lincoln. They don't traditionally play well there. They're going against a team that's, likely to make the NCAA tournament. But they already beat them at home this year without Jeremiah Williams. So they should have all the confidence in the world going in there. And, I hope that the biggest lesson they take away from tonight is if they just, play team basketball on the offensive end, share it more. How many assists did they have tonight? They had at least a dozen assists, which is very good. At one point, it was 13 of 26. They had 17 assists on 33 makes. That's over 50% assist rate. Very good. Listen, it's not rocket science. When you share the basketball, when you reverse the basketball, and you attack On the weak side of the defense, when you are setting screens, creating actions, being patient, working the defense, able to get out in transition and pass effectively, looking for trailers. When you pass the ball well, good things happen. You get rewarded, and Rutgers did tonight, and they can build from that. How many guys had assists here? Multiple guys had. Let's see. In terms of assists, you had Hyatt had 3, Fernandez had 3, Austin Williams had 2, Aiden Terry had 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other guys had 1. So everyone was sharing the basketball a little bit. You did not see Egbole tonight. You did not see Wolfolk tonight. Rutgers played small when Cliff was not in there. Gavin Griffiths didn't come in until the second half. Mawat Mag was out tonight. They TV listed as, I believe, a calf. This is the third game in the last 5 he's missed. I think, it's fair to question how much is he going to play down the stretch now, whatever he's battling. But it was great to see Rutgers respond the way they did, to come together as a team. The rack was rocking. And let me say, one more home game left this season, but anybody that does not, I've seen some comments like, oh, the rack's not loud. I think people don't realize that TV, they what's the right word here? It's not muted, but the crowd noise is dampened or softened, right? So the play-by-play comes across better on TV. That is not a Rutgers thing. That is a live sports thing. And that's why the crowd doesn't sound as crazy as it actually is. But the Rutgers crowds at home this year have been unbelievable. And to have a sellout tonight with the season they're having, and to have everybody show up and the enthusiasm of the crowd, I mean, truly, Rutgers fans have just been awesome this season. And, there's so much talk in the Big Ten. I mean, you look at what and obviously there's the bigger arenas, right? But Ohio State, Penn State never draws, but Michigan, even Indiana the other night. I mean, the upper bowl was empty. Again, bigger venues, but still, I mean, these are, traditionally big time programs that are struggling to draw fans, and Rutgers fans are just showing up every game this season. So credit to the fans, credit to what Steve Peichel has built with this program. And, this was an important game, I thought. If they lost this game, this would have been an unraveling moment and a really concerning one, and a really, just kind of heartbreaking one, right? And instead, they respond with their best offensive performance of the season. It's great to see their ability, their resiliency, their ability to bounce back from adversity. It was a really disheartening performance on Sunday, and this was a really inspiring one. So can they bottle it up? Can they build off of this? Can they get their mojo back now? They've won 5 of 8. They won their first 4 with Jeremiah, lost 3. Now they've won again. You're 7-10, uphill battle, but you're in the thick of it in the bottom half of the Big Ten there. I mean, listen, 10-10 is not out of the question, and Rutgers is now, Michigan's eliminated from this conversation. Iowa, Illinois, and Rutgers and Michigan all won at least 10 regular season games in Big Ten play the last 4 years. Michigan's out. Rutgers is in danger of being out. Iowa, probably is going to get there. Illinois is already there. But listen, if Rutgers can split the road games and beat Ohio State, finish 9-11, that would be 17-14. That's probably good enough for the NIT. So I think there's hope after tonight that this team is not done yet. I think you saw a team that's done in Michigan, and that does not have much fight left. And then you saw a team that has fight left and is not done, and that was Rutgers. And that's what we all hoped we'd see tonight. That's what we got. I thought that in terms of just how they came out, it was so important to get them off to a good start. So credit to Steve Peichel for just showing them or getting this team to respond, and for them to have the right amount of energy and urgency early on, and to really just kind of step on Michigan's necks from the start and not let go. So great to see. By the way, I know they play Mr. Brightside more now at the rack, but it was great when Cliff scored the bucket. They went up 25, and they're playing Mr. Brightside. The rack is singing along. It was a tremendous moment. It's Michigan's song. They sing it at that big house, I think, at the end of the third quarter. They're known for it, right? And then the rack is just screaming it as they're up 25. Rutgers has now beaten Michigan 3 in a row, 4 of 6, after never beating them previously. and also held Michigan to its lowest point total in 6 years in a Big Ten game. Dominant performance on both ends of the floor. Like I said, Rutgers finished 1.3 points per possession. Is that an exact amundo? I don't think it is. Let's see. They were 1.302. And then what did Michigan finish with efficiency wise? This is going to be very good for the metrics if you care. 0.8 points per possession for Michigan. So dominant performance on both ends of the floor for Rutgers. And let's see if the metrics hit. Not yet. So we'll see what they jump to. But big opportunity on Sunday. Ken Palms gives them a 20% chance of winning. That's Sunday, 6:30. I'll be back with a preview then and maybe some more tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks so much for listening and watching my rapid reaction. Once again, Rutgers gets off the mat. Season is not over. Let's go.